Hey guys, welcome to the I Hearth You King of the Hill. I'm Doa, that's Artosis, and we are finally back. DreamHack is over, and now we have an opportunity for our 5-time I Hearth You King of the Hill champion, Thijs, to make it 6. This is pretty insane, man. Like, 5 wins already.
He can't be stopped.
Yeah.
Alright, and here's the thing. I met him at DreamHack and got to hang out with him and talk with him quite a bit. The kid is just so brilliant. He really knows what he's doing. His decks are awesome. He makes almost no mistakes. An amazing player. I'm not surprised that he has gotten so far. Well, I'm a little bit surprised because the people he's beaten.
Yeah.
It's like he's, for instance, Nimsh and Strike Pro.
Nimsh, yeah.
He took out both of them already.
In a row, actually. Yeah. So that's not easy to do.
Some other great players as well. So, I mean, Thijs, who knows how long this guy's going to hold on to King of the Hill. It's
Could be a while. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But we've got Hosty from Don't Kick My Robot as the challenger today. And, you know, he's a player. He's on Don't Kick My Robot, obviously, which has been producing a lot of great content in the scenes.
Look, I think they're
actually good players, too.
Yeah, I think they're one of the better teams, to be honest. Like, they don't get enough recognition because they're out there. They're constantly making great content, analyzing decks. A lot of decks that I see, they definitely had a hand in. They've raised Alchemist, one of the best players in the world for sure. Definitely a very strong team.
Yeah, but is he strong enough to take out Thijs, though? I don't know. It's going to be... The first game's going to be kind of fast and furious. I mean, we've got Aggro Hunter versus Miracle Rogue. So it's like, in this matchup, it's kind of like, well, who takes it? It's a little bit of a toss-up, you know?
Yeah, you know...
deck versus deck, not player versus player.
Indeed.
Yeah.
The thing is, I always do like to bring in Aggro Hunter against Miracle, but...
It's one of the more consistent, but it's just...
The Miracle decks, like, nowadays, you know, they have the Earthen Rings. Those really help out in this matchup. They just have more big minions to get on the board. And if they start getting some of these 3/3s out there, it can be pretty hard to deal with for the Aggro Hunter, but... you know, I still feel like it's okay because, you know, Explosive Trap can be a pain to get around, misdirection, you know, especially if you play those late when they have nothing out and they're trying to go off with Leroy.
Well, the reason why Aggro Hunter is good against Miracle Rogue is because it's one of those decks that can just beat anything. You know, like any given game, Aggro Hunter will have a pretty good chance at winning. You know, if the draws are right for you and the draws are like a little bit slower for your opponent, you will beat them. So... I mean, it's a good one to lead off with because it beats, you know, pretty much anything. But
it's one of my favorites to lead off with, like, of all time. It's, you know, leading off with like a Druid deck is great. Leading off with like an Aggro Warlock deck is great. And I think Aggro Hunter is one of those where, as you said, you know, it can kill anything. It's doesn't have any terrible matchups, at least. Yeah,
and I mean, you want to start off with a deck where you think, all right, maybe I can like get into like 2 or 3 wins even with this. You know, if I start rolling well and stuff like that. So. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I guess the only way to find out is to get in the game and actually, like, see the decks in action.
Yeah, we'll do that in 1 second. Just to throw this out there, guys. Don't worry. Gromash, Ysera, and Sylvanas not in there.
He's not in there, no.
Hosty seems to be throwing a little E-Cup curveball at us, Photoshopping some
you don't put Sylvanas, Gromash, and Ysera in all your Aggro Hunter decks? I mean,
well...
Gromash goes into Aggro Hunter so well, dude.
It's a great card to put in there for sure. You
get
got to put in that one Elvish Archer to get him going. But
that's right. No, you've got... oh, he doesn't have Arcane Shot in this, so never mind. I was like, Arcane Shot, your Gromash, you're golden.
Well, here's what you do, right? You play your... Wait, no, I guess that doesn't work. You can't misdirect your own guy.
You can't execute your own creature either, just in case.
Good to know.
All right. That's
good to know. Okay, before this gets any worse, let's get into the game.
And here we are, game number 1 of the I Hearth You King of the Hill. Thijs, our 5-time champion, versus Hosty. And let's take a look at these opening hands. Always happy to see a Leopard Gnome, and it looks like Thijs is just going to toss everything back. What do you think about that? Do you maybe keep the Deadly Poison, or do you throw that back every time?
I would throw that back against Hunter every time, just because, like, basically... Aggro Hunter is what you're afraid of here, and charge minions you don't want to clear with your weapon. You want something else.
That is true, yeah. You can't really afford to take that damage twice from a charge minion. He does get an SI7 agent, he's got the coin, so things are okay, I guess.
Yeah, he's going to be completely fine, it looks like. But the first turn Leopard Gnome, really great. It looks like it'll probably get 4 damage in, and 4 damage for 1 mana. Can't go wrong, right?
Yep, absolutely. I mean, that's why like Leopard Gnome has always been one of my favorite cards, because it's some of the most mana-efficient damage in the entire game.
Well... Looks like we have some faulty video here.
Oh no.
Just so you guys know, sorry about that.
At least they put the frowny face to make it up to us.
It's Hosty's first time recording it. Sometimes people have the wrong recording settings on, so...
okay.
It happens. Whatevs.
Well, we won't get a lot of information about his hand maybe then. We'll see. SI7 agent. Alright, yeah. Just go ahead and coin that out and take up Leopard Gnome, and that... You know, that worked out about as good as it could, you know?
Now, this is the part where it gets a little bit tricky for the Aggro Hunter? Because you have a 3/3 out here. Do you run a Wolf Rider into him? Do you use your weapon? Do you go for face and let him trade into it?
With a trap in his hand, I feel like you go for the weapon, because you've still got a charge left over, and he actually will trade. And I mean, yeah, that gets you down to 27, and any health you lose against a Miracle Rogue is dangerous stuff, but, you know, like you said, with the traps coming out, I feel like weapon is the way to go.
Well, you know, I think I have to agree with that as well, just to get your weapon out there, to develop it so that you can actually do some things later on with it. Pretty smart.
I mean, you may not want to play it against the Thelnos. I don't think I would, but you know, he's got some options. He can always, flare hero power or something like that. Or what do you draw there? I think that's Animal Companion.
It looks like it's Animal Companion.
Yeah.
Now, I think that's a pretty solid play right there.
Yeah,
if you play
agree.
the Wolf Rider, which would have been my play probably beforehand, it's a little bit weaker. Whereas Animal Companion, of course, with the Thanos out there, it's probably going to die, but I think I'd probably play that.
Do you think you'd flare this turn too, just for the cycle, because you don't have to worry about any secrets on rogue side?
Well, it gets rid of
stealth, I suppose. Yeah, that's true. Never mind.
The thing is, I might do it to try to just get my hand a little bit better, but with only one flare in the deck, I think I'd hold on to it just in case.
Oh, he's not going to, though. Okay.
He does have a deadly shot in there as well, which is really in to kill that Gadget Zon.
Oh, that's true, yeah. Deadly shot is kind of a big deal as well. And, okay, he gets Leok. Alright, so, I mean, it's got 4 health, but still not exactly what you want to see. And that is probably not going to make it.
Yeah, but there's no really great way to actually kill this off. Like,
really,
he can eviscerate and then trade with the Thalnos. That's as good as it looks like he can really do. The thing is, I think
really inefficient, actually.
You want to kill this off, for sure. Like, I'm pretty sure he's going to eviscerate, trade with Thalnos, see what he gets, and then probably just dagger pass. Because his hand is not really looking that hot.
Makes sense, man. I mean, he needs to draw from Thalnos more than anything right now, because he needs to get that Auctioneer for turn 5.
Yeah,
or for turn 6 at this point. Right?
Auctioneer would be quite nice. I would, if I was him, I'd be looking for Earthen Rings for sure.
That too.
Just trying to get stuff on the board, because he's got already, like, the combo pieces he really needs in his hand. Like, he's got 12 damage that we can see with the Leroy and Shadow Step.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see him just dig for some more minions. And he does get the Auctioneer, which is not bad.
Yep, and like you said, he'll be able to dagger and then pass. Or I guess he'll attack with it too. Wants to get a little bit more damage on. I mean, when you are racing against an aggro hunter too, every little point counts.
Yeah, for sure. And because he has a good chance of playing that Auctioneer next turn, that means the turn after he's going to have so much mana, he can always re-dagger if need be.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so there is the Wolf Rider and the Hero Power. And so why not? Good 5 damage on there.
Yeah, look at this. Really taking that health down off of Tice. Yeah. Kind of a tough situation here, really.
A little bit, yeah.
This is like... I don't like any play here, really.
If only he had a preparation. That's what I think he really wishes he had. Blade Flurry will be the play, and then why not just throw down the 4/4?
Yeah, he's just got to get guys on the board, and this actually opens him up to possibly combo out that SI7 agent next turn.
Yeah,
of course,
totally.
If he can get a couple hits in, that Leroy's worth 12 damage, so really his opponent right now, you got to think of him as being at 13 health. If he can deal 13, then all he needs is that one more turn.
Yep, that's really it. I mean, you can kill someone from such high health with a Miracle Rogue, which is kind of part of the name. But, there's also a Leroy in the hand of Hosty as well, too. And it looks like he's got, an Arcane Golem. Yeah, so that's going to be 10 damage sitting in his hand right there, 3 more on the board. So he's at the point where he can do 13 as well. So it's a little bit, this one's going to come down to the wire.
Yeah, he's just deciding here, does he want to do the Secret or does he want to run a dog into Van Cleef? And the Secret's the right play for sure.
I like the Secret, yeah, definitely.
Well, this makes it so that your opponent basically can't attack you, and if he does, he's going to take a bunch of damage or kill one of his own minions, and you get another charge on that bow, which is an additional 3 damage. So,
exactly.
I mean, for instance, if this Van Cleef just attacks right now, does he just win next turn? No, he only has 7 mana, but that would be like 7, 10. He'd be 2 damage short of winning, basically. Like, this is a huge lead for Hosty right now. This is very hard to see Tice coming out of this.
He would have 7 next turn? Yeah, well then wouldn't he win? Because it'd be 10 plus 3.
It would be Leroy plus 4. An attack.
Oh, plus the Arcane Golem for 3. So he'd actually beat him next turn if he does 4.
Oh yeah, you are right. Yeah. That's right. The mana is a little bit hidden there. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to see, but...
But, I mean, Tice didn't get 5 wins by attacking into an obvious secret.
No, nobody's going to do that. Yeah.
No. He knows he's probably dead right now. If he draws an Earthen Ring, it's definitely going to be Shadow Stepped. He's just getting way too low on health. But
yeah, you have to.
It looks like everything is probably going to be too slow.
Probably. I think that's a vulture in his hand on the edge there.
I think it is a vulture.
Pretty sure, yeah. So he could, you know, maybe go ahead and vulture into Unleash this turn just for something, and then he could Hunter's Mark one of the dragons, then leave the other 4/4 up because he's got that misdirect.
The thing is that his vulture would be dealt with for sure, which I guess is okay.
Yeah, he only needs one turn out of it. I mean, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, the thing is that takes away a lot of damage the misdirection could have done, but he's got to do something because Theis has already shown he knows what's going on. He could be just waiting for one of his smaller minions to attack with.
Yeah, we'll see what he does. He's hovering over the vulture right now. That's weird. Usually the vultures are the ones hovering over things.
Oh, that was actually really good. I like that. Alright, gonna draw a couple cards.
Yeah, what does he get? Okay, Explosive Trap.
Okay, yeah.
Not bad. He's
totally
got 2 mana left, so.
And I think I don't think he'll use Explosive. I think he'll use Hero Power. He just needs damage on his opponent right away. And the Explosive Trap doesn't excite me here at all, so. I mean, look at this. He's gone down to 15, or 14 rather. He's drawn some extra cards. His hand has ridiculous damage in it.
Oh, and you got the Farseer. So it looks like Theis will be able to live a little bit longer, but this is still not a good situation at all. So here's the thing. It's like he's worried about the trap, but he also has Phantom Knives to clear too if he needs to. So it's kind of weird.
The thing is, I think what he's thinking about here is the Earthen Ring and the SI7 as opposed to the Phantom Knives and the Earthen Ring.
Yeah, I can see that.
So let's see. For sure he's going to play this SI7.
Okay.
Just does he Shadow Step this turn or not?
Well, if he does, he could cast the Earthen Ring again, but
I think it's an okay play. And notice how he left 3 health on the Van Cleave, because he doesn't actually know it's misdirection. It could be an explosive, and in fact, we know that there's an explosive in Hosty's hand. So just really solid play here from Theis.
It's just that point in the game where Miracle Rogue has such a hard time, you know, getting through the traps of hunters. If it gets to this point where you're kind of low health, there's just not a whole lot you can do.
Yeah, well, you know, right now, if he attacks with his SI7 next turn, like, this is getting into the situation where Theis is going to be coming up on lethal pretty quickly, too.
Yeah, if he gets the right kind of misdirect.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the big problem is that Hosty still has 25 health, you know?
It's true, but we have 10 damage on board, and we have 12 in hand, so that's 22 already. But of course, it's not going to work out exactly like that with the misdirect.
He's just got to do it in a way where he doesn't die the very next turn, you know?
Yeah.
That's the tricky part, because there's 2 Arcane Golems in the hand of Hosty now, and I guess he's not up on 10 mana just yet.
That's a lot of damage when he is.
He doesn't have any beasts for his kill command, too, which is pretty huge.
Oh, okay, he's actually just gonna... This is really interesting. This makes a lot of sense, because then he puts down Explosive, which means the Whelps do 0.
And it's 17 health. When the Explosive Trap gets activated, that'll be the final 2 damage that Theis will need to be killed with. Oh, actually, he's not going to play the Arcane Golems, though. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't do that quite yet. He's saving those for the actual kill, because if you give Miracle extra mana, that gets scary. They go off pretty easily.
All those traps, though. Huh. Alright, so you just traded the Leroy, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, he's thinking about maybe Phantom Knivesing that, I guess.
Well, it makes sense, because here I would say that you know that this is a misdirection, you know that this is an explosive trap, so he's considering leaving the 1/1 out so that he can misdirect into it. Because he doesn't know which one was played first, but if the misdirection was played first, then it triggers. But he's really, really thinking about this, and he needs to. It's a tough call.
Of course, yeah. I think he's just dead next turn either way. I don't think it matters what he does this turn.
Well, let's see how this all goes down.
Yeah, he's dead.
And there's the misdirection. Don't forget he can. Ooh, painful. You would have rather that hit anything else, except not the Earthen Ring.
That's true.
Not the Earthen Ring.
There's the Explosive Trap as well, too. So actually, he doesn't take damage from the Whelp because it dies before it attacks. So there's that. He's got that going for him anyway.
And he's got to gain his health here, as we see.
Yeah.
Gonna use a Shiv as well. If he could live through the next turn, man, it's like very reasonable that he could win this game. But look at the amount of damage that we have in hand of his opponent here.
Yeah, he'll be at 10, and the thing is that there is...
We have an easy 10.
Exactly, yeah. There's,
we have
11, right?
14.
No, 4 plus. All right. I can't do math at all, but...
We have 14 damage.
Hosty has plenty of damage to do, yes. So it will be a win for Hosty. And Theis already a little bit on the back foot after going for 5 wins in a row on the I Heart You King of the Hill. But it looks like this one is going to start out with a loss. a victory for the aggro hunter.
Yeah,
These things happen.
Well played. A tough game for Tice. You know,
totally.
aggro hunter can definitely just roll you like that.
Yep, that's what traps will do. So let's move on to game 2. Hey guys, welcome back. We're going into game 2 between Hosty and Tice, and now we'll see if the aggro hunter deck of Hosty can take on the very standard sort of aggressive, mid-rangey druid deck of Tice. And it is a good, strong deck. It's got the double Savage Roar, double Force of Nature. It wants to put the damage on faster than most druid decks and kind of get control a little bit earlier than some of those like slower, more controlling sort of druid decks.
Certainly. You know, it's a very solid deck, as you can see from Tice here. You know, it's got very few one-ups in there, and they're all really powerful cards. The Harrison Jones definitely can come into play in this matchup. Actually, a pretty good card against that Eaglehorn Bow, of course.
Oh, yeah.
He's got some life gain. He's got the double combo. You know, if he gets the right draw, he definitely can run over Hosty before Hosty kills him.
Certainly can, yeah. It'll be kind of a race against time for Hosty this game.
Yeah, you know, he's got to go to the face as quickly as possible. The one thing I do want to point out is we do only have 2 taunts from Tice, which is the 2 Druid of the Claws, which is a lot less taunts than we used to see in Druid decks, but nowadays very common to just see those Druid of the Claws.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the whole thing with having those double Savage Roar, Force of Nature combos in there and things like that, is that you're trying to just overwhelm them with big creatures. So it's kind of like your creatures sort of have taunt without having taunt, in that they just need to be dealt with, you know?
Yeah, it's a good way to look at it, I guess. So it should be a good match. It definitely can go either way. I don't really want to put too much of a prediction on it.
It's tough to predict, yeah.
Yeah, I would say, just generally speaking, I would give a slight edge to Tice here. When I play aggro hunter, this type of deck is the deck I really don't care to see that much.
You know, I feel like I've been talking about this a lot lately, where Druid is just like the most consistent class in the game right now. So I feel like Druid is just always going to have a little bit of an edge, even against something like aggro hunter.
You know, the Druid's worst matchup is normally not worse than 40% win rate.
Yeah,
so that's
pretty crazy.
That's a pretty
right
solid deck. It's a good choice by Tice.
Definitely. Well, we'll see if he can take and tie things up, or if Hosty will jump out to a 2-0 lead. Let's get in the game. And we are back, guys, for game number 2 between Hosty and Tice, and we'll see if the aggro hunter can take down the solid druid. So, alright, no coin for Tice, so it's tough to keep any of those 4-drops.
Yeah, he definitely should mulligan that hand. The Hosty's hand is a lot harder to choose. Like, do you use Flare to cycle quickly? I definitely keep the tracking.
I don't know.
Oh, he actually wants to get rid of the tracking. Okay, I actually... I generally like to keep the tracking and throw back the Flare, but this will thin out his deck. And yeah, well, the thing is, in the early game, I guess it's not as important to go 3 deep, whereas later when you're searching for answers, it is. So I get why he did it.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. I mean, it's not necessarily wrong at all. So kind of an interesting take on it.
It draws the Abusive Sergeant with his Flare.
His hand, actually, I don't really care for, to be honest. Like, he's got the Eaglehorn, which I guess he'll play next turn, but...
It's not really a lot of aggressive moves he can make. I mean, and the thing is Eaglehorn Bow, now if he plays it, that's a coin, and then the bow for only 2 damage off of that charge, you know, because of the armor, so it's just kind of an icky start for Hosty, for sure.
Yeah, and in fact, he skips it for now, which I actually think is completely fine. I oftentimes like to save it for a turn where it's going to be a little bit more impactful, but... with this Harvest Golem coming out and looking at the hand that Tice has, I do like Tice's position a little bit more than Hosty's.
Oh, totally. Yeah, I mean, he can handle things with the Wrath really easily. He's got the Ancient of Lore that he's going to be able to innervate out pretty soon. And, I mean, you know he's going to draw probably something pretty decent next turn. Out of the cards that are kind of out there, there's a pretty good chance that he's going to get some sort of 4-drop.
Yeah, we'll see what he draws into, and even if it's a higher than that with that innervate, he can kind of fix his mana. Do you kill the Golem here, or do you go to face? Like, this is where it starts getting tricky. It's like, do you actually use 2 of your health and a charge to just make the Golem into its 2/1 form?
That's the question. Does he do it? Yes, he does. I mean, that's kind of the thing, is I feel like you kind of have to deal with it. Otherwise, every turn you're going to be like, oh, if I would have dealt with that earlier, I could have taken less damage, you know?
Yeah, and the thing is, it's going to work out pretty well anyways, because he has 2 explosive traps, and they're not going to find a better spot. So, like, explosive trap, hero power next turn seems like a pretty obvious play.
Yep, I would totally agree with you there.
Unless he draws Unleash right now.
Nope. Just explosive trap? Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, pretty standard stuff. And then the hero power just chip away at the armor and do a little bit of damage.
Well, you know, at least he'll kill some minions with this.
Ooh,
and,
another innervate. Interesting.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. Now, when you innervate out your Ancient of Lore here, do you gain the health or do you draw? I would definitely say you draw.
Oh yeah, of course. 26 man. And looking at his hand too, he doesn't have a lot of good stuff next turn, so I feel like you need to go for the draw.
For sure. Like you don't want to gain 4 health
like
that situation.
Honestly, like 90% of the time with Ancient of Lore, you should be going for the draw.
Yeah. Yeah, you save it against certain decks, but look at this. He actually has double Savage Roar and an Innervate in hand with the Force of Nature, so
that is crazy.
He can just wait until turn 10 and kill his opponent.
Pretty much.
Like, that's so much damage. It's like 14 plus 8, it's like 22. You think you can do 2 more damage to him over the course of the next 5 turns
I think it's pretty likely, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he can do it.
I'm pretty sure he's going to maybe do 5 next turn. Oh, maybe not anymore. There's a misdirect. Okay, if he hadn't drawn that. Then...
Screw it, man. He can just swipe pass. Swipe hero power pass.
That's true, too.
I mean, this is not that hard for him to end up winning this game.
I don't think so.
Yeah, Hosty needs to
Big
get
Game Hunter. Done. Might as well throw that down, too. Yeah, now do you attack here with the Ancient of Lore? I mean, that's the... Ooh, I don't know.
Oh, wow. He's thinking of using his combo piece right now. That's very interesting. Because he already saw an explosive trap.
That's true. So it's unlikely that that's a second one.
Yeah.
But it's still a risk, because it could be. It could be a second one for all he knows.
Yeah, but, I mean, he thinks it's a misdirection, and he is right. So, against a misdirection, this play is vastly superior to anything else.
Yeah, I agree.
So it's a really fantastic play here by Thijs, really showing his quality.
Yep, really kind of calling the odds, too, and being right with that one. Oh, perfect, and it hits him, which is fine, because, I mean, 2 damage to him is way better than losing another one of his tokens, so... Yeah, he's in great shape.
Gets his opponent down to 15 here. Like, this is not going to be a hard kill for Thijs still, even though he used that combo piece. Like, he's got the swipe, he's got double Savage. You know, he's... Tough game here for Hosty, but definitely has a possibility to pull it out. 19, that's a good start on health.
Well, let's see. If he goes double Savage... Yeah, he doesn't have enough for double Savage plus swipe, but he's getting pretty close to lethal. Pretty close.
Good deadly shot.
Not anymore, but...
He's got to start doing something here, and I like the Harvest Golem. I like that play. Yeah. That's good.
Yep,
What else is he actually playing here? I can't quite see what his mana and everything's at. It's a little bit hard. Okay, great. This is actually really nice. And he can attack, bring him down to 10. And suddenly, Hosty's showing he might be able to take this.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. Oh, but the Force of Nature, is that enough?
He's just short of being able to do
Yeah, that's not quite enough. Okay.
Well, look, this is a little bit tough, but I think here you Wrath for 1, swipe the face. Yeah, Wrath for 1, swipe the face. That kills both minions and armor up. And can he deal 11 damage off 7 mana with a bow out? It's definitely a possibility.
Possible, yeah. I mean, it depends on the draws, but it is possible.
But I mean, that sets up like a win for him next turn, almost no matter what. But with that explosive trap in Hosty's hand, he actually like an explosive. No, the explosive trap really does mess things up, doesn't it?
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, I like the idea. I like the idea you had for Thijs, where you just Wrath the 4/2 and then swipe. But he's actually just going to focus it like that.
Oh yeah, this is actually, now that I think about it, it's totally fine. All he needs to do is get him to 14. That's it. Like that's all he needs here.
Well, he did it.
Yeah, and with a minion out, even if you play an explosive here, you trigger it with the minion.
Yeah. The big benefit here too is
you play your combo and that's it. The game is over.
Yeah. I mean, the big benefit here too is that you do get an extra armor as well, so it makes him just that tiny bit more survivable. And you know, how many games have we seen where like 1 damage makes a difference between winning and losing? So
many.
That 1 armor is actually pretty important to get.
Well, he's going to try to go off a little bit here and draw a bunch of cards.
Yeah.
And he will draw a bunch of cards, but I'm trying to imagine his deck what he can draw to win, and it's nothing at this much mana now.
Well, let's see. He's got... Oh, he's down to 2. Okay, I thought that was a 5.
He would actually have to gain health.
Yeah, definitely. There's just not enough burst. No Leroy, no nothing. So that should be about it. Because, yeah,
oh, no, I guess... Oh, wait, no, and now at 2 mana, like, I guess he could have drawn the 4/4 taunt.
Oh, that's true, too.
Oh, no, that wouldn't have saved him either. Never mind. Like, he had no way, because, with the Savage Roar, it's just... he has so many 4-attack minions, it doesn't make a difference. So
well, that should do it then, because he has, I mean, a kill command that he can't cast. He's got an Abusive Sergeant. He could do another Timberwolf for more draw, but I mean, there's no burst. There's no charge coming out of Hosty right now. So Thijs has got this game locked up.
He certainly does, and he knows it at this point as well. With this much mana spent,
might as well draw.
Yeah, I mean,
Wolf Rider.
You're sitting here thinking, if I don't die, I suddenly have like a lot of damage, right?
Yeah, well, it's like I don't know he has a combo. You know, he probably does, but if he doesn't somehow, then I probably win.
Look, like if there was anything left over, like if he lived at all, he just wins next turn. But
yeah, totally.
Not going to be the case.
Nope, not really. There it is, Force of Nature, Savage Roar.
Coming down to the wire.
It does. It usually always is close against Hunter, but in the end, you know, the Druid deck is so solid, and we are all tied up 1-1.
Alrighty, that's it's good to see. I don't want to see a sweep here.
Me too. On a long series. Let's move on to Game 3. Alright guys, we are back for game number 3 between Thijs and Hosty, and this time Hosty's the one bringing out the Miracle Rogue, and again, you know, I mean, every Miracle Rogue you have tiny little variations here and there. This one's got the Assassin's Blade, you know, 1 Azure, and aside from that, pretty par for the course stuff.
Yeah, you know, that's oftentimes a question, do you play the Assassin's Blade or not?
Yeah.
You know, Miracle, never really a bad choice against hardly anything. It's, you know, you don't want to bring it out against, like, aggro rogue, or you know, there's a couple matchups that can be hard against like handlock and stuff, but it's fine to choose against this. But Thijs is well equipped to take this out, right? He's got Harrison Jones and he's got double combo, so definitely you know, a lot of this is going to come down to draws and you know, how well do these guys actually both play, which as we've seen very well.
True enough. I mean, I feel like this particular Druid deck with a little bit less taunt in it, you know, is maybe slightly more vulnerable to Miracle Rogue than some of the other Druid decks out there, but the Druid is still really solid either way.
I see what you're saying with the, you know, it can be really hard for Rogue to deal with, like, a lot of giant taunters.
Right, exactly.
But I like the aggression of this Druid deck against that. I actually liked it on the... I used to be a taunt type of guy against Miracle. You know, try to get enough out.
You used to be kind of a taunt type of guy in general.
That's true.
Really. Yeah.
That's true. Nowadays, though, I do like to try to just beat them down and kill them before they go off.
I will say, this is my favorite version of all the Druid decks that we've seen lately. I'm like loving playing this one on ladder right now. It's really fun.
Yeah, I really like this deck from Thijs. So, who wins this? I guess let's see the draws and see how they play it out.
Time to get in the game and see who takes it. Game 3! I don't know, I wanted to do that like Macho Man Randy Savage. Snap into a Slim Jim! Well, alright, Hosty versus Thijs. I was possessed by the spirit of Macho Man Randy Savage, but now he's gone. I'm back in control.
Alright. Good to see. Good to see. I liked it, though.
Well, what else do you say at the start of a Miracle Rogue versus a Druid deck, you know?
Say, well, we have a Gadgetzan starting, but no coin for Hosty.
Yeah, that's not so good.
And the hand for his opponent here, not, like, the most exciting stuff. Had to mulligan the whole thing.
Yeah.
I guess it's not the worst thing I've ever seen, but, like, not too exciting.
Oh, that's not bad, though. You can coin into the Wild Growth and get a little bit more mana off the back at that turn 2 Harvest Golem.
That's really nice.
That is really nice.
That's really the only time you want to coin into Wild Growth is to get a 3 drop out immediately.
Yeah. Now, here's the question. Do you play the Harvest Golem, or do you go for Big Game Hunter? Because he's not really going to need it unless there's like a giant Van Cleef or something.
The thing is, with backstab so prevalent, I would do the Harvest Golem first.
Alright.
That's my opinion.
And there is a backstab in Hosty's hand. I feel like I always feel really good when I can pull a backstab out of their hand early on, though, in this matchup, because that's such a good card with Gadgetzan Auctioneer. So if I can get them to use it early, I'm like, yes, that's one less draw later.
It does make sense, like, and it looks like he is going to go ahead and use that now anyways.
That feels good, too, yeah.
He already has the dagger, so it kind of makes sense that he wants to just remove this over 2 turns, but hell, that's 6 damage for Harvest Golem, not the worst thing
Not bad at all, yeah.
But he does have Conceal, by the way, which is really nice. So a turn, if he gets a prep, a turn 5 Gadgetzan, or if he doesn't, a turn 6 Gadgetzan, really powerful.
Oh, a second Harvest Golem. That's kind of annoying for Hosty to deal with.
Yeah, for sure it is.
Oh, a second Gadgetzan. Okay.
Well.
All right. That's not, I mean, really too necessary, but... And he's just going to sap one of the 2/3. Yeah, just trying to get basically some sort of stability, you know, because things start to get out of control pretty quick when your opponent has multiple creatures that take multiple cards to get rid of on the board.
You know, especially with the double Gadgetzan, that's really smart, because with with that extra guy out there, he's more likely to be able to kill off your Gadgetzon right away.
Yeah, have a Wrath or something like that. Oh, there's a charge to the Claw. And the pressure coming fast and furious from this Druid deck. Probably going to see that Argent Commander next turn.
Yeah, I would definitely say so. And, I mean, everything looking pretty good for Thijs, you have to admit.
Yeah, totally. I mean, that's the thing about this new Druid deck, is that it's way quicker than people kind of realize it is, but the creatures you're putting out are all like really beefy, hard to get rid of creatures.
That's right.
Too. And that's why Miracle Rogue is seeing a bit of a decline. It's because of decks like this.
Yeah, you know, every deck has to take Miracle Rogue into consideration, and this is definitely one that does. Now he plays that Gadgetzon. Now this is basically for him going to be an absorb 4 damage card.
Yeah, it's like 4 armor basically for 5 mana. But this should tell Thijs that there's a second Gadgetzon in the hand. You know, it's kind of like you're really telegraphing at this point.
Yes, Thijs knows that there's a second Gadgetzon in the hand, without doubt. Like the hand would have to be so awful otherwise that he wins anyways.
It's like, who does that? I mean, you're at least going to Shadow Step it if it's the only one you have. You know. Yeah.
This is so rough for Hosty. Like
it is.
I mean, he's got to go Gadgetzon, and then he's got to conceal it.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't draw like a backstab, and he doesn't,
drew the SI7 agent.
Yeah. Or if he drew a prep, that would have been good as well. But this is just what a bad situation. He's almost dead already.
Yeah. Let's see. 8 plus 6 is 14. He is practically dead right now. He's 2 damage away from being dead.
Yeah.
Yep. So this turn, I mean, 30 health for Thijs. He's got literally nothing to worry about. I feel like you just play the Ancient and draw a couple cards. You might just want to play the Chillwind Yeti and the
I would have done the Golem as well, but whatever. He's dealing so much damage. Like, the thing is, he has lethal next turn if there's no life gain just with his hand.
He honestly could have just passed the turn. It doesn't even matter. It's like... Yeah, probably doesn't make a big difference.
Well, we're going to see him try to go off here, but
Deadly Poison.
Again, he has to remove everything.
Yeah.
And he needs to draw life gain. And that's the only chance to live through the next turn.
True enough. All right,
and I mean, he's going to start removing stuff very, very well.
Eviscerate the 4/4. Okay. But, again, you know, that Force of Nature kind of trumps everything really that's out on the board.
And look at this. He still has mana left, so he can still kill this 4/2 really easily.
Yeah.
With the SI7 agent, of course. But that's going to leave him with no life gain. Look at what Miracle Rogue can actually do in a turn.
Miracle Rogue, well, I mean, there's a reason they call it Miracle Rogue, right? This is why.
If Thijs had dealt a little bit less damage early on in this game, the Miracle Rogue may have ended up winning this game on the next turn. Look at this. He has a Shadow Step and a Leroy in hand. He has an 8/4 and a 3/3, and he has this dagger.
You and I were talking about this between games, where it's like decks like this, even if they lose, will always get you to like around, you know, 10 health most games. Maybe not this game, but most games you'll get to around 10 health and then lose, right? If you're going to lose at all, you're still going to be able to make it kind of scary. But this time around, it looks like Thijs will take the game, and he's going to pull a 2-1 lead.
Pretty crazy one.
Yeah, yeah, indeed. This Druid is so strong, man. Well, we'll see if Hosty can tie it up as we move into game number 4. Alright guys, we are back, and Thijs, our 5-time champion, is now up 2-1 in this best of 7 against Hosty, but Hosty is bringing out a Control Warrior, but with some changes, some stuff that we haven't seen in a little while, and some kind of different cards, kind of interesting.
Yeah, you know, we see him go down to 1 slam. I've seen that a lot recently, to be honest, but what really gets me thinking here, he has a Defender of Argus, a Gnomish Inventor, and then he plays 2 Faceless Manipulators, but if you look further down the list, this is a little bit different. Like, he's skipped out on Baron Geddon. He's skipped out on Rag. Okay, I can't really complain about those. Like, if you look at his deck, yeah, he has no Alexstrasza as well. He has no targets for Big Game Hunter. Yeah. Which is a very popular card right now. But he does have things like Karn, Sylvanas, and Ysera, which are all ridiculously good targets for the double Faceless. So kind of a cool deck.
Yeah, I mean, you know, with that 2 Faceless thing and all the kind of more mid-rangey creatures like Karn and Sylvanas and things like that, it's almost like playing Warrior in a Druid-esque style is what it kind of strikes me as. It's interesting.
Well, what do you think about the matchup between these two?
It's tough to say. I mean, I haven't seen this particular brand of Control Warrior in action before, honestly. I feel like Control Warrior is still really strong, but I've always felt that Druid was a very good matchup against it, so I gotta go with Thijs. I feel like, generally speaking, Druid is going to do well against Control Warrior.
No, I've always felt like it's a pretty close matchup overall. And I think that these two decks are well suited against each other.
In my experience, it's always been that, like, Control Warrior has a little bit of a hard time removing some of those higher health creatures as time goes on. So it all depends on how fast those creatures can start to be played by Thijs.
Yeah.
If it's a slow start, then Warrior should be okay. You should be able to build up some armor, get some shield slams out, things like that. But if the creatures start coming fast, like we've seen they can from Thijs' deck, I think he's going to have a big advantage.
Yeah,
so,
he's got to stay on the offensive for sure. Thijs has to be the attacker in this. He has to make Hosty trying to clean things up every turn and whittling down his life total.
I think a lot of this comes down to Thijs' opening hand. I think that's going to be a big factor in this game.
Okay.
But, you know, we'll see. I guess the only way to find out is move into the game and see, huh? All right, let's do it. Game number 4. Alright, game number 4, Thijs versus Hosty, and Thijs is up 2-1. We'll see if he can continue the streak with the Druid against the Control Warrior of Hosty. Ooh, it's a pretty good hand, actually, for Hosty starting out.
Do you keep the Korokron? Okay,
I would have thrown the Korokron back, but I would have definitely kept the Armor Smith.
It's an interesting case.
Without the coin, I'd be a little bit worried about keeping the Korokron, because you really want to search for, you know, like axes and things, and maybe not axes, but like a shield slam would be really nice to see.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of an interesting choice whether to keep that or not.
I mean, I don't think it'll necessarily hurt too much. I mean,
yeah, I think I kind of like it when you look at some of the early minions that are in Thijs' deck. Like, he's probably going to be charging all of his Druid of the Claws, and then he's got Harvest Golems as well. And with the Armor Smith, the Korokron's going to be useful.
So now with the Armor Smith out, do you coin out that Harvest Column? I think I would maybe Hero Power and then wait until next turn and coin out the Yeti instead.
Yeah, definitely have to agree with that. The Yeti, a pain in the butt to take care of.
Oh yeah, definitely.
For sure.
All right. And that is a Whirlwind, I believe, that was just drawn for Hosty. Yeah.
That's definitely a Whirlwind. And probably just going to armor up here. Like, you know, he could use
like
the shield block. Okay, and he does end up using the shield block. You know, some people like to use it earlier on to draw. Some people like to save it for later for maximum armor gain.
Yeah, I really like to save it until I have a shield slam, especially against Druid, because otherwise you're going to be losing so much armor from being chipped away by the hero power and creatures that you never really get to shield slam the bigger stuff. So I like to save it, but, you know, I mean, to get the cycle, it's not the worst thing in the world.
Well, it looks like he's going to play the Harvest Golem here.
Huh, okay.
Now, I think that this is going to lead into the Korokron really well. If you go Korokron into it, and then you attack the remainders with your Armor Smith, that's perfect.
Totally. And that's exactly what he's going to do. I mean, because that's 2 armor gained, and it's getting rid of that creature. It's pretty much perfect.
It's really nice.
Yeah.
And this makes it a little bit more risky to play this Yeti now, because the Yeti will probably just fall, and then it'll be 2 for 2, but your opponent gains some health. And it's not the best situation. I still think it was the right play from Thijs for sure, looking at the mana curve in his hand, though.
I mean, he can Wrath for 1, and that was actually like a really nice top deck there, because getting rid of this and cycling and then being able to just hero power is pretty awesome. And it saves you the trouble of having to worry about playing the Yeti, you know?
Alright, so hero power going to come out here.
Yeah. Who do you attack here? I feel like you just attack the player. Or no, maybe you do. Well, he's counting on maybe drawing a swipe or something like that, and then he can get rid of a lot of armor and finish it off.
There could be a swipe, or like, just if his hero power fits in somewhere later on, he can use it.
Yeah, that's true too.
So, I mean...
Getting rid of 1 armor on the Hosty is not going to make a big difference either.
Yeah, no, I guess that's like a couple life swing, really, because it makes his opponent gain armor instead of losing armor, and also he loses the armor taking the damage. But anyways, whatever, it's a good play.
Yep.
Now, over on Hosty's side, at 5 mana here, I think you actually just play the Arison just to, like, none of these other plays look good to me.
Yeah, I mean,
the only other one is, like, doing the Acolyte.
Acolyte, and then you Whirlwind and get armor and draw it. I don't know. That's overly ambitious,
It's, like, it kills your Armor Smith and stuff, too.
Yeah, I think Harrison is a perfect play, because, I mean, it fits in with your mana curve, it's a 5/4, it's something they needed to deal with, and...
it's annoying.
There's nothing else to do, and there's not going to be any weapons, so just play Harrison.
And, you know what, this is actually going to work out really well for Hosty, too, looking ahead of this, because we should see the Argent Commander run into that, and then, with its shield gone, we should see the Acolyte played, the 1/1 attack into the 4/2 without Divine Shield, and then a Whirlwind. And that works out so well for Hosty to be able to clean that up.
Yep, I think you're right. I think that's exactly what's going to happen, because it's so tempting to coin out that Argent Commander this turn.
You gotta. It just makes too much sense.
Yeah.
I think he's got to be looking at it and thinking, well, I hope he doesn't have Whirlwind and Acolyte in hand.
Well, unfortunately.
Yeah. Look at the amount of health on Hosty, by the way. Pretty crazy. Up to almost 40.
Yeah. That's what Warrior does, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so drew the Azure Drake, but I think you're right. I think we are going to see the Acolyte into Whirlwind play, you know, after the Armor Smith does the damage.
Yeah, it makes too much sense.
Yep, totally.
Well,
don't want to Whirlwind before the Armor Smith does damage. That is not a good idea.
Not as good for sure.
Yeah.
He's thinking it over, but...
Yeah, I mean, the other thing, too, is that he's got a Defender of Argus in his hand as well, too. So further down the line, you know, he's got a good defensive play just to keep himself, you know, even more safe. So Hosty is in, like, a really, really good position this game.
Yeah, I would definitely say so. Everything's worked out very, very well for him.
Yeah.
And
there's Whirlwind.
Theis has to be looking at this saying, you have so much armor, you're drawing cards, I have nothing on board.
I think, is that an axe he drew? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it is.
It looks like a Fire axe,
yep.
Yeah.
Alright, so do you play that or do you just armor up? I feel like you just play the axe, because it's unlikely that they're going to be... Well, actually, no, never mind, because a lot of druids are running weapon removal now.
Harrison's pretty popular, right now.
He kind of comes and goes, like, every 2 weeks, so this is, like, one of the 2-week periods where he's on again, so... I guess he's going to play the axe anyway, I mean...
Yeah, he didn't really need the armor, but like a Harrison draw here obviously would be great.
Yeah.
So, let's see from Theis what he wants to do here. Is he going to just ping for 2?
Maybe.
Is he going to silence him?
Could also silence, but he will just ping for 2. Not too worried about the draw, I guess.
Well, if he leaves him out, then his 2/4 dies because of the axe.
Yeah.
So it makes a lot of sense that he just kills him and lets him take the card, because it's more important that you have this 2/4 on the board.
Very true. So 7 mana. I feel like you just play the Azure Drake this time around, and he draws Sylvanas. So I think you still play the Azure Drake here.
I have to agree with you. Draw a card. The Sylvanas can be a little bit more useful later on when he has a better board out.
I got an Execute too, which is going to be pretty nice to have. Always feels good to have an Execute in the hand in case you need it.
Yeah. His hand looks like just really solid overall, and the thing is, Theis's hand is not bad here either, but. You know, he's got double Force of Nature, which is a little bit clunky, and no real way to remove this Azure Drake cleanly this turn. He's got to develop his board a bit more, so that kind of sucks. You don't ever want to leave Azure Drake out.
Well, the problem is that, you know, he could have Force of Nature to get rid of it, but then if you do, you really need both of those to get rid of the armor that your opponent has, so...
And also, I mean, it doesn't develop his board at all, which would be like, you know, just playing only that this turn, then you just have a 2/4 out and you have 2 extra damage. It's like, no one wants to make a choice like that.
I mean, this is kind of the situation that we were talking about before the game, too, where it's like if Warrior has a chance to get some armor built up and to kind of get control of the board, if the Druid has a little bit slower of a start, then Warrior can really, really do well. And so that's the scenario we're seeing as opposed to the quicker start by Theis, which could have happened but didn't.
Now, this is very nice to see Sylvanas come out here.
Definitely.
Now, he does have... Look at that. He has double faces in hand, kind of clogging the hand a little bit.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, for instance, if Sylvanas lives to the next turn, pretty crazy.
Yeah. His face was sad.
Yeah,
there can only be one leader of the Forsaken, though, Artosis.
You know what? This turn we're going to see a Force of Nature.
Yep.
I would say.
Oh, well, actually, the swipe draw.
Thing is,
he's
he has
got
to
an
suicide
Azure
his
out.
Drake in.
Well, he's got an Azure Drake out, so, I mean, he could give up the Azure Drake, but,
Yeah. Well, I think he attacks the Azure into the 5/5 here, and then maybe swipes face and uses hero power, or, I mean, he could, if he wants to save the swipe, use a force, but I think saving the force might be okay.
He could also swipe face right now for 1 extra damage, then run the dragon into Sylvanas.
Yeah, that's much better.
But looks like he's going to just run in first.
Yeah, and using the force is completely fine here.
Use the force, Theis. You must trust your feelings.
Uh-oh, he's going to give up one of these 2/2s.
Oh no. Oh no, he gives away a Treant. It's game over for Theis. That Treant is going to do so much damage, it's going to be so... Oh, wait a second. It didn't make it.
Well. Not the best steal for a Sylvanas I've ever seen. You know what? Tice is dealing with things well enough. He hasn't really taken any damage. That's scary.
Ysera is scary. Do you realize there's people in chat right now that really believe we thought the train was going to survive? I'm just thinking about what chat might be saying right now.
Well, don't think about what
it's
the
okay.
chat says.
I'm not worried.
Don't fear the chat. Do you use your combo to clear Ysera? That's the question here, and I think the answer is yes.
I think you're kind of obligated. I mean, it's either that or you let your opponent draw a lot of really, really good cards.
Yeah, Ysera will just kill you. Otherwise, like, I think you just have to do it, and that sucks because he's using a combo. He's using 2 cards to get rid of one that already drew his opponent card.
Yep.
And this is, like, the combo is now gone because he already used the other force.
Exactly, yeah. So now Hosty basically says, oh, well, I'd probably just win now.
Yeah, like, you're not afraid of a giant amount of damage.
Yeah.
So that's... Hosty has to be happy about that part, but he doesn't have that many finishers left, let's remember. Well, Karn is, like, probably the most important card left in his deck.
He drew a Nightmare, though, so he can do a little bit of extra bursty damage with that. And next turn, he can Faceless Karn into Defender of Argus on it.
No. I want to see
you can Faceless twice. Yeah, you can Faceless twice.
That would be insane.
Or, you know, if he plays Ragnaros, he can double Faceless the Ragnaros,
Oh my god, you're gross, you're gross. You might actually be right about it, though.
It's possible.
It is definitely possible. You could go Rag. Thing is, I would expect Rag would die no matter what. Like, no matter what, Rag would die, so I feel like I would hold Rag and maybe develop the board a little bit more. Like,
I would just toss down some creatures this turn. I'd be like Azure Chillwind or something like that, or Azure...
Azure Swipe.
Yeah. Oh, Azure Swipe.
Azure Swipe him.
Get rid of a charge? Okay. Yeah.
Because, you know, getting rid of that is really nice. You just leave... If he uses his 4/5 the next turn to clear the Azure, well, you kill him off. Yeah. And that's like that's pretty efficient against Karn. And the thing is, he doesn't know what Hosty's deck is exactly.
Yeah. Oh, look at this. Is he actually going to do that for the draw? Wow. I'm a bit surprised because, like you said, he had the ability to just straight up get rid of one of the charges of Karin.
But you know what? Ignoring Karin is oftentimes the right choice. In this case, we can see his hand and we know it's not.
Yeah, it's definitely not the right choice this time because there's going to be 3 Karin Bloodhoofs on the board
at the end of
this turn.
Watch this. I've never seen this before. It
hurts so bad. Me neither.
Oh my god.
They're all golden.
Oh my god.
And now Tice, like, basically wets himself because this is terrifying. Yeah.
Well, he's going to be able to deal with it a little bit better than you would imagine because he does have Thalnos Swipe.
He does, yes.
So I mean, he can kill all the Karns and just have a bunch of Banes sitting around.
Yeah.
Not the best scenario still.
I mean, but the thing is like next turn Defender of Argus is gonna plop down between 2 of those guys, and that's gonna be an enormous thing to deal with. 2 5/6s with Taunt on the board.
Yeah.
Probably what we're gonna see. Yeah.
So, let's see the Thalnos Swipe hero power. Gross still. Gross still.
Quite. Now, do you hero power first so you can get rid of one of the Banes maybe too?
You wouldn't quite... Well, I guess you could technically get rid of a Bane, but I think I'd rather have... Would I rather have all of them in Bane mode? Or get rid of... Yeah, I would rather have them all in Bane mode, I think.
Okay.
Okay, wait a minute. He's actually doing something slightly different. Okay, he's actually going to get rid of 1 Bane. This actually probably does make more sense. It gives him a little bit less damage that he's taking.
Yeah.
And yeah, his life is still high, but most warriors play Alexstrasza, so if he had Alexstrasza, it would be almost death the next turn.
True enough,
And with the Nightmare, it actually would have been.
Yeah. Alright. So, what's it going to be this turn? What did he grab out of his hand just now? Okay, No Mission Adventure, alright.
Okay. Solid draw card.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of various stuff you can do. Obviously, going to use this weapon.
Yeah, and I feel like you do use it against the Argent Commander.
Yeah.
I mean, oh no, now he's down to 29.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Well, the Druid takes the life lead, so that's nice, I guess.
That is true. You don't see Druids with 3 armor oftentimes, do you?
Not too often. It matters what deck you're playing.
Yeah. I believe he's got, what, like 6 mana left? Okay. And Defender of Argus between those 2, yeah.
You know, I think that we saw, to be honest, I think we saw a mistake this game. I think that the No Mission Vendor should have been on the other side of the Bane, and then he should have armored up both them, because if another Keeper comes down and silences that Karn, that's real value.
double effect taken with that one, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree,
So just like a tiny little misplay here from Hosty, or something that could turn into a big misplay, I guess.
You know, something that could have been just a little bit more optimal, for sure. You know, if you're Theis, what do you do? Would you just YOLO rag, or what?
Well, you draw
there's
first.
not a lot of stuff really for him to do.
Like, he could go double Druid or something, but...
Yeah.
Hey!
Oh, nice, okay.
Hey, what did I say?
Well, you said exactly what's probably going to happen.
Well, that turns into a great play now. I think that the Keeper and Chillwind is by far superior to playing Rag.
Oh, it's going to be Rag. Wow, I'm really surprised he did that, actually. Yeah. I mean, who cares what you hit? It's still...
Okay. Well, he needed to hit that or the 4/4.
Yeah.
Those were like the only two valid targets for this Rag.
It's still not that great. I don't know.
Well,
oh, and he's got a Shield Slam, too, so goodbye, Rag.
Yeah. Thing is, with how little removal Hosty has used this game, you know, that's... The Rag was always going to die when it came out.
Probably.
Like always. Like, it's hard to imagine that ever living, but... that's a lot of damage he's taken.
Yeah. Harrison Jones, not too helpful at the current moment anyway, but yeah, I think we're going to see a silence on that Karen. So I don't think he'd silence
every situation
else.
here is pretty rough, though.
Yeah.
Do you just throw down a Druid and taunt, or do you charge one to kill one of these guys?
That's a good question. I mean, I would maybe consider charging it, just because you're going to lose that Druid of the Claw probably anyway to an Execute, which is what he's thinking too, so you might as well guarantee that you're getting rid of a creature.
Yeah, because if you just lose it to an Execute, that's too much damage. It's 11 damage that you see. That's rough. So, yeah, this is the right play, and you want to take out the gold one.
I mean, we know he's dead anyway, because there's going to be 12 damage from Gromash, Cruel Taskmaster coming out, so the game's over, but, you know, just trying to make the most optimal plays. And there it is. Plenty of damage for Hosty, and he will tie up the series 2-2. This is good. I'm glad we're getting a nice close series.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Look at that, 17.
Whoa. What a nightmare. GG. All right, we're all tied up. Alright guys, well we are all tied up 2-2, Theis versus Hosty. Theis trying to go for his 6th win in the row at the I Hearth You King of the Hill, and he's decided to bring out Shaman to try to retake the lead. And I think generally I like Shaman versus Warrior. I feel like when I played, I basically played a whole season of Control Warrior last month, and Shaman was always one of the classes where I felt a little bit nervous against.
Well, you know, those totems can be hard to deal with.
Yeah.
But, you know, some top Warrior players, notably Kit Kats, thinks it's actually Warrior favored. But in this particular circumstance, we see a Hosty without Baron Geddon.
Yeah, that's why.
Although it does have a Brawl.
Brawl is always good against Shaman, but, you know, like you were saying, I mean, the reason why Warriors did have answers against Shaman was largely because of, like, Baron Geddon and a Whirlwind or something like that, you know? So it's, without Baron Geddon in this deck, it's a little bit riskier.
It certainly is. So I would say in this particular matchup between these two particular decks that it does, in fact, favor Theis.
I agree completely,
definitely my opinion.
Yep.
But something like a Harrison Jones going off on the Doomhammer will just win you the game.
That's pretty scary,
If you get that, like, the first time they play. In fact, Theis, I guess he didn't play Harrison Jones. Wait, no, he did play him.
He did play him, yeah. So,
Theis may just skip playing Doomhammer altogether.
It's quite possible, yeah. Because even if you use it right away, there's still 4 charges on it. That's 4 cards you could draw off of Harrison.
You can't
pretty
risk
devastating.
It's not worth the damage. Like,
definitely.
Maybe you wait till the very end and see if he ever plays Harrison.
Yeah.
But you know, short from that, I really do like this Shaman deck taking out this Warrior deck.
I think so too. Well, we'll have to see if he can do it and retake the lead, or if Hosty will come back and take the lead. Time to get into Game 5 and find out. Alright guys, we are back for game number 5, and Theis going to try to take the lead with his Shaman deck, has to throw his whole hand back, and yep, pretty logical mulligans from both of these players, I'd say.
Couple hexes. The hex is actually going to do quite well against Control Warrior.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He doesn't really have a lot of mid-game minions that you'd be afraid of that you want to hex. Like, he doesn't have any Yetis, he doesn't have any Frothing Berserkers. I guess the weakest hex you could really reasonably do would be against an Azure. So those hexes are going to be very useful, but certainly not in the early game.
Yeah, I would say so. Hero power coming out for Theis, gets the healing totem. And so Hosty, I think we're just going to see probably a little bit slower of a start this game.
Yeah, this game I think is going to take a long time.
Yep.
To be honest,
generally they do. Yeah.
These guys just like you look at their hands, they don't really have any way to kill each other and stuff.
Yeah.
But as far as starts, I guess it's nice that Tice gets to get like a ton of totems out to start. But I like Hosty's hand. Like I love seeing Gnomish Inventor in there in this slow start. That guy's like a totem killer.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He's made to kill totems.
Yeah. He like went to totem killing school, man.
He did.
All he did, he played like whack-a-mole with totems.
He's a professor at totem killing school.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, Gnomish. Oftentimes, Gnomish people will kill totems. I don't know. I have no idea where I'm going with that. I was trying to work some sort of lore, and it didn't work out.
You know the Gnomish lore better than I.
They can't be shamans, actually, which makes them even more of shaman killers, yeah.
Oh, wow, they're jealous.
Yeah. They can. They have a vendetta against shamans and their totems.
Huh.
It's true.
Well, I think he's going to go ahead and play that. He's going to get these totems killed.
He hates totems,
but
man. Look at
we
that.
have a lightning bolt and a rock biter. I would actually kill this.
I think you can.
And he draws a Yeti. Would I kill it now? That's...
I'd play the Yeti.
Yeah, I think I'd play the Yeti. I think I'd play the Yeti, go to face with the...
It's better to have bodies on the board, man.
Yeah, and then you can kill the Gnomish Inventor, but like... The Gnomish Inventor has to be dealt with this turn or the next turn. You don't want something out there just killing your totems, because that's like where a big part of your power comes from. That taunt totem is so... If you just taunt totem like every turn when you have 4 totems out...
Oh yeah, totally.
How does a warrior deck with 1 card that's going to kill you?
Yeah, you can't. I mean, that's the thing. It's like when a shaman starts rolling top totems multiple turns in a row, you're just like, well, maybe I'll just go ahead and crawl under my bed and like never play Hearthstone again.
Well, let's see what he does with this. Definitely has a few options here. You know, he could end up killing off this Yeti, but that's a little bit messy, of course.
Yeah.
Like, he could use it Shield Slam, Armor Up, and the Gnomish, or he could do, like, an Execute type of situation, but that doesn't look too cool. I like this one a lot better. A lot better.
Okay. If he'll just go ahead and Execute and get another character on the board. Another Totem Killer, man.
That's right. And take out this 1/1, and look at that. He's got 2 Totem Killers. How are the totems going to stay out?
They can't. Well, Flame Tongue might have something to say about that.
Well, I think a Totem Lightning Storm could as well,
especially
if he got like rolled the Spell Power Totem 1 and 3.
We definitely clear it then, yeah.
Huge.
And that's what he's gonna go for.
Yeah.
I thought maybe. Oh wow, you got it. That's so sick. I thought maybe he would go like Flame Totem and then like Lightning Bolt the Gnome or something. This is a better way to do it. No totems lost this way.
Yeah, it's a good situation.
Yeah, good. A little bit of good luck there getting the Spell Power Totem.
Yeah, and even if he didn't, he probably would have gone for that and just hoped he rolled high.
Yeah.
Because if he didn't, then it's like, okay, well, either you hit the Taunt Totem or I have a 1/1 thing that's going to kill your guy anyways at 1 health.
And if you clear their creatures, it's such a big deal against Warrior because you know Warrior is not going to use removal stuff on your totems. They just can't, you know? So basically, he's ensuring that these totems will live.
Yeah, and in fact, he's only playing 1 Azure, if I recall correctly. So his
that's
totem clear consists of like a Brawl and then 2 Whirlwinds with the 1 Azure. So kind of annoying as these totems continue to sprout up.
Oh wow! Okay, so here we go. Not bad.
Together they're a totem-killing team.
That's true. Yeah. Agla and the Armorsmith, man, they're out there co-killing totems. He really needs a Whirlwind though. That would be perfect right now. Tice, though, doesn't really have anything to play here, per se.
Well, you know what? He could go for...
I mean,
he could actually kill off the Armorsmith or this other guy, like, because he has the healing totem. So he can use his Flame Tongue and kill off the armor guy and everything heals. Or he can use, either the Axe or the Lightning Bolt here.
I was more
probably the Lightning Bolt to kill off the 1/3.
Oh yeah, totally. I was more talking about creatures. You know, he doesn't really have any way to gain a lot of board presence this turn through playing minions. But
double totem really is the only way.
Yeah, he's gonna have to remove some stuff. But there we go. Yeah, why not?
I like this.
Yeah,
I like it. It's, you know what, he got rid of everything pretty well. And,
he had managed to save some of his removal spells for quite a while this game, so it is finally time to use them, I think. I agree. Yeah,
this is all actually looking really good for Tice, I would say. He's dealt with everything really quickly. Oh, that's a nice draw right there.
Oh, yeah, man.
Really
Fire
nice.
War Axe, pretty great.
And,
especially with that Flame Tongue totem. You don't usually want to use the Axe against the regular totems, but against Flame Tongue, it's awesome.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
It's a card for half a card for a card, but by playing that unleashes the Harrison Jones next turn.
That is true.
Do you use the Harrison there, or do you think he has a Gorehowl? The thing is, people have been playing Gorehowls, and some people have been playing Arcanite Reaper.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Warrior's probably going to have Gorehowl, but you're going to get the same number of cards whether you Harrison a Gorehowl or Harrison an Axe. So at this point in the game, I would just probably play it just to get some more board presence next turn. If the Axe comes out, which we're kind of assuming it will. Yep, and there it is.
Yeah, I think you got to take care of that Axe. So.
Yep.
Still some mana left over here, and probably just armor up, yeah.
Sure enough. Alright, so this turn, I would guess, you know, Harrison, Totem, something like that. Oh, no, he can't. Yeah, alright. Forgot to use that Lightning Bolt last turn, so yeah, I think you just Harrison here.
The Harrison's just too strong a play to get a 5/4 out and get rid of that one charge and draw a card. It's like just good.
That's still pretty huge, and I mean getting the Earth Shock is kind of nice too because a lot of the stuff that's going to come out around this time, you know, Ysera, Karn, things like that, things that theoretically could be in this Warrior deck are going to get handled pretty well by the Earth Shock and Harrison.
Look, Harrison in Hosty's hand and Doomhammer. In Thijs's hand.
Are we actually going to see it? The Harrison Dream.
It would spell doom.
The greatest artifact he's ever collected.
Yeah, no doubt. Alright, so Shield Slam, and of course we have this
that's pretty good.
5/5 out. Probably going to see a Hex on that, I would imagine.
I would think so, yeah. I mean, Earth Shocking, it's not going to do a whole lot.
He has double Rock Biter.
He does.
Double Rock Biter plus his Alakir.
Yeah.
That is a lot of damage. That is 18 damage to the face.
Yep, sure is.
Totem Hex, go.
Yep. Come on. We know this turn already.
He's thinking. The thing is, you have to consider playing your Doomhammer.
He could. That's the thing is, you could play Doomhammer Hex.
Yeah. Doomhammer Hex is not like a terrible... We can see it would be a terrible play, but it's hard for... Does he put his opponent on Harrison in hand right now? Does he take the risk? Because if he doesn't have Harrison for like 2 turns, it could turn out nice.
I would go Doomhammer Hex just because it's a great band name, but... I mean, the thing is like not knowing what's in your opponent's hand. It's like Harrison is only 1 card in the entire deck, so it's one of those calculated risks where it's like, well, if I'm gonna play, you know, X against a guy that just played an explosive trap and not assume he's got a second one, that's the same basic theory as I'm gonna play Doomhammer against someone that only has 1 Harrison because you only going to inevitably have it. The dream. Is he gonna take 10?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh no, he's just gonna take. All right, yeah.
Not only is he gonna take 10, but his opponent's gonna draw 6
so
cards.
Bad.
This is like pretty much the worst thing that could have happened to Thijs.
Yeah, and he's got enough room in his hand to hold all 6 of those too. Because once he plays Harrison, he'll only have 4 left, so he'll actually. He'll have 5. And never mind, he's gonna lose 1.
Doesn't even matter. Like to draw that many.
You
cards.
Gotta do it.
This is like the most powerful thing ever. And Thijs was just banking on not having that.
Wow, dude, that's
so
crazy.
many cards. Like, wow. Just wow.
The dream. The ultimate Harrison.
God.
Wow. It's in the museum now. He can retire. The Doomhammer is in the museum.
Oh my god. I'm just like sitting here in shock. That was so crazy. That was so crazy.
Wow.
Because again,
look at that
wasn't
hand
a
now.
bad play by Thijs.
No, it's totally reasonable. I mean, you can't expect him to do anything else. No, it definitely was not a mistake from Thijs to play that.
I mean, he could have held it. That's why it took him a while to decide.
Yeah.
Because he's thinking it over. He's like, does he have it or doesn't he?
You just can't play around that stuff, though. I mean, you can't. It's like playing aggro and then like choosing to not play a bunch of your creatures because you're worried about AOE. You know, I mean, like at some point you can't play around stuff too much. You have to be aware of it, but you can't let it rule your whole game. You know.
Yeah. Well. Let's see what he goes from here, because that's a tough thing to come back from.
Yeah.
Taking 10 damage and letting your opponent draw 6 cards is
really tough. Yeah.
Well, okay, I mean, he's got a very solid board out for sure, right? He's got a lot of taunts out here. It's going to take a long time for him to clear anything.
See, this is why you run Bloodlust.
Yes, I suppose Bloodlust would be amazing here.
Right here? Be great.
That's why you run double Bloodlust.
I miss Bloodlust. First month of the beta was the best, man.
Alright, let's see.
What's it going to be? I mean, he's just got so many options to take care of things with. I mean, does he have an Azure in his hand?
No, he doesn't have an Azure. The Cruel, though, this makes some sense. He has so many cards in hand. He just needs to start clearing stuff.
Yep.
And, well, looks like he'll probably just take out a couple Wolves if he was going to do that, right?
Yep, might as well. I would agree. He's got 7 mana left in his hand. It's kind of hard to see the cards he has, but... okay, so he's just going to Defender of Argus here.
Okay.
That's not too bad, actually. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Really makes that Armor Smith survive quite a bit longer in theory.
Yeah, the 2 health is quite nice.
Yeah.
He has to use a card on it at least, as long as his Harrison hits that other 2/3.
Yep.
And a Lightning Storm is already used.
Yep.
But if he had another Lightning Storm, brutal. Just brutal.
Fire Elemental's okay actually here because you can get rid of the well, either the 4/2 or the 6/3, one of the two.
Well, he's gonna decide here, like he's got all these totems.
I would maybe consider. I mean, obviously he wants to use Rockbiter and Alec here, but I would consider using one now. Yeah, that's right, and then getting rid of the Armor Smith, and then using the Elemental to get rid of Harrison.
By the way, it's really cool that he actually used his face for that.
Yeah, totally.
Because that allows him to have all totems out still. And this is just, he's basically giving himself higher percents to roll this taunt totem as many times as possible and just keep his opponent off his back.
Yeah, I mean, as long as he stays above like 12, he doesn't really have a ton to worry about against Warrior, you know?
Yeah, it's a good way to put it. Like 12 is generally the most Warrior will deal to you off of an empty board.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you see more because a weapon is already out, but that's really about it. Oh, okay. Well, that's an easy hex target. Yep.
Yeah.
He'll draw something from it, but you know, Theis has been saving those hexes all game long.
Is it a Laughing Sister?
No, it's the Drake. Okay, Emerald Drake.
Weak.
Yeah, gotta search for those Laughing Sisters, man.
Gotta dig for them.
That's right.
Alright, so, I mean, this is a pretty easy and obvious turn. Kind of plays itself out.
Oh, yeah.
He's building his board up again, trying to get those totems out ASAP. But these two guys can be very good totem killers, for sure.
So what do you do here? Do you maybe, let's see, he's got a slam as well.
Well,
Oh,
you
there's
have
the
to
weapon.
you have to kill the Twilight for sure.
He's got the second War Axe, which is really nice to have as well, too. That'll help you get rid of the Drake in a little bit safer manner.
I think you, I mean, he has so many options here. For sure I kill the Drake, and for sure I kill off at least one totem.
Yeah.
Because I could see him using, like, Slam and running Cruel in.
I mean, he wants to save that Whirlwind until he draws the Azure, but look at this.
Oh, wait,
okay.
is that just death? No, it's not quite
Is
death.
it, maybe?
Right?
With the axe? Maybe it is.
Well, he doesn't have enough mana for that.
How do I math? Alright, 14.
Math.
Yeah, it is actually death with the axe. Because he's got... Oh, he doesn't have any more mana. Oh, duh, okay.
Yeah. So...
It's kind of cut off on our screen. It's hard to see.
But, doesn't quite have it, but still, at 2 health, you gotta expect he's gonna be able to kill him the next turn.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, he has to do some taunts and stuff.
I would hex my own guy at this point.
I think Alec
I don't think it really matters. I mean, yeah.
And Totem, and you hope. Okay, so he gets a taunt totem, which is very important. Huh.
I mean, yeah, you can clear enough to stay alive if you hex Gromash as well. So
okay, so the thing is he's dead anyways.
We know he's dead because of Slam. I mean, you have to assume they're gonna have a lot of direct damage in their hand to deal with this.
Yeah.
But
you know
it was worth a try, you know.
It was an interesting game, I think, and Theis took a lot of damage to face clearing things to try to gain an advantage in certain ways, and it just ended up not working out. Really, the big part was deciding to play Doom here.
That 10 damage and then giving your opponent 6 cards is tough, and Hosty will take the lead. Alright guys, well, Theis in a little bit of trouble here, man. He is one game away from being eliminated from the King of the Hell and ending his run at 5 wins, which is respectable, but I know he doesn't want to end it there. You know, he wants to try to come back and tie things up, and he's going to try to do it with Face Hunter.
Well, it's his last deck, so he doesn't really have any more choices left, and obviously you don't want to use Face Hunter against Control Warrior.
It's not ideal. No.
The Control Warrior is a little bit different than what we've seen. You know, we've been talking about it. It's got a couple Faceless in it. It's, you know, it has like a Ysera, which is too slow to really use against this. But it does have a Defender of Argus, which is nice. It doesn't have Alexstrasza, which definitely can be a key card here as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think this one could really go either way. I'm still trying to kind of pick apart this Control Warrior deck a little bit because it does play a little bit differently than some of the stuff that we're used to seeing. But it is cool, so I don't know. What do you think?
I have to favor the Control Warrior. But there's ways that Theis can do this. Like, he's going to be mulliganing aggressively for traps and the Eaglehorn Bow, most likely. I talked to Kit Kats a lot about this matchup, and that's really, you need the recurring damage that the traps plus bow combo gives you.
Yeah.
So if he can get into that, it's pretty good.
All right.
But I mean, you got to give the edge to Hosty, I guess. You know, he's got a lot of armor in there.
You know, I would say so, but you know, we'll see. I'd love to see this one go to Game 7, but Hosty could end it right here. We'll see if he does, or if Thijs will tie it up and force a final game. Let's get into it. Alright, here we are, guys, in what could be the final game of the day. Hosty trying to close it out with his Control Warrior against Thijs's Face Hunter. And that good old first turn Leper Gnome. I love it.
It's the best one draw.
It's my favorite card in the
aggro
game.
deck, right?
My favorite card in the game, hands down.
Well, we have a lot of damage there in Thijs's hand. I kind of like the Arcane Shot coming in just in case an Armor Smith pops up, and keeping the Whirlwind for Hosty. Reasonable. You know that Aggro Hunter is going to have a lot of 1 health guys.
Oh yeah, definitely. Kind of the name of the game. So, Hosty just kind of passing it, I would imagine. Yep. There you go. And so now we will see that Leper Gnome.
Yeah, and you know what? He's got an Animal Companion, so that's a great coin for turn 2.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And ooh, that's the draw you want right there.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, I mean, he can get rid of it with Leper Gnome and Arcane Shot, so it is possible. But do you just play the animal?
I think the Animal Companion.
Oh, okay.
And you roll Huffer. That's the trick.
Actually, Misha's not bad too. Yeah. It's the second best. You know.
Okay. Yeah. Can't complain about that too much.
You know, Animal Companions, when they're playing aggro decks, are like 90% Huffer and then like maybe 8% Misha and like 2% Leok.
Look,
you know?
when I play it, it's all Leok, so I don't know what you're talking about.
It's different for each person, you know. I mean, when you start your account, you get different percentages for when you play Face Hunter.
Makes perfect sense.
I feel like Blizzard just decided this, you know. They're like, God, this guy's only gonna get Leok. You're one of the unlucky ones. Sorry.
This is like a very tough situation.
Yeah, it is. I mean...
Oh, he draws into an Execute so he can deal with everything next turn, so that's nice.
And he's got 5 armor, so I mean, he's at least sustaining anyway this turn, so...
Yeah, like, he's not going too low yet, but to have to... These are not the early turns that you want, basically.
It could be worse, but honestly, against Face Warrior, you know, what else are you going to use your Execute on than something like this? So it's not bad that he's going to have to use that.
Kind of interesting. That is kind of a desperation play, so... Thijs is considering a few things here, I think. I think he's considering the Arcane Shot plus the Leper Gnome. I think he's considering all face. I think he's considering Eagle Horn plus Leper Gnome to kill off the 1/4. Like he's gotta look at this and say this is a rough one.
I would probably, if it were me, I would go Leper Gnome Arcane Shot into the Armor Smith.
Thing is, actually, no, maybe 2 health. Though.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's maybe I would just go for face here too.
I would
go for the bow.
I'd go for face tracking and hero power personally.
Yeah.
But Thijs, I feel like he has enough options that if he doesn't do that, we can't be too surprised about.
Getting rid of the armor is just way too good. I think now that I've looked at it for a little bit longer. Yeah.
Oh, and he takes out the Armor Smith. The thing is, Armor Smith is like the scariest card. Over time, it gains so much value. So.
Yeah. And he still did 5. He still got him down to 1 armor, so it's going to require an Execute probably. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah,
he's hoping that Shield Slam isn't in the deck, basically, or it isn't in the hand, rather.
Well, it's not, but there is the Execute.
Yep.
And in fact, it looks like he wants to use this Whirlwind, and he'll use both here. But Leper Gnome's done his damage, right? He's had a couple attacks, and he blows up. So
he's had a good life.
He has.
Yeah.
Leper Gnome lived a full and happy life.
It's true.
And he removes everything and gets armor up, goes back to 29, but so far this hasn't been that bad for Thijs, really.
Not really. I mean, he's still technically 1 health ahead, so there's tracking. Might as well see what he can grab with that. Alright, Wolf Rider, Misdirection, Flare. That's a tough choice.
Because I want Misdirection to charge up the bow, but I think Wolf Rider's a better grab.
Yeah.
He just used a Whirlwind.
Yeah, it pulls more stuff out of their hand. I do agree. Misdirection is better late game, but right now I would go with Wolf Rider.
Yeah, the thing is, anytime I have the bow, I'm really thinking about getting secrets. Like
that's a tough one, man.
It is. Now we can look at the hand of Hosty and see that he has, obviously Harrison. So,
okay, and now I mean, with the Whirlwind played in the last turn, I would definitely just go with Wolf Rider.
Right.
It's because it's going to require like a Cruel Taskmaster or something, probably. If they have it.
Yeah. And he's actually...
He doesn't.
Oh, did he insta-drop Gnomish Inventor instead of... he didn't play a Harrison here. And he did draw the Cruel, which I guess is nice. But I'm a little bit surprised that he would play that instead of Harrison. Because Harrison is also going to draw you a card, and it's getting rid of the weapon, and it uses your full mana.
Yeah, and it's a bigger creature to do it.
I am surprised about this, really.
I agree. I agree. I mean,
I think that was wrong.
Because, well, I agree too. Because I mean, the thing is you don't want to wait until they get more charges. Who knows when that's going to be? You know,
as soon as he gets another charge, he's going to your face.
Yeah, and the thing is also by then they may have drawn a second axe too, or a second bow rather. So you might as well get rid of it now and have that 5/4 on the board. Yeah, totally think he should have dropped Harrison right there.
Yeah, I really feel like this was a mistake by him. Because his mana would just be so much more efficient too. Because like, look, he plays that last turn,
what does he do this turn?
then this turn he can go for his Gnomish plus his Cruel Taskmaster that he would have drawn off of the Harrison.
Would have been nice.
Well.
Now you play Harrison now. I mean, you can still do it.
I wouldn't this turn though. If you're not going to play it, don't play it.
You go Curl into Kor'kron maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you could do.
Actually, Defender of Argus isn't a bad play here. I suppose it's true. 3/3 and a 3/5.
Yeah. And that's going to make you a little bit stronger against any Unleash combos. So I think that this is a fine play.
I'm just thinking aggressive.
But it could have been on that 5/4 instead of a 2/4.
Well, he does have Unleash and Buzzard in his hand, and you know he doesn't have any Hunter's Marks to really make this efficient. But
he can draw 4 cards.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that he'd be able to draw a lot of cards.
He's got to do it. He's got to do it.
Or does he?
Well, this would. You know what? This is like almost seems like a risky play, but what this does is allows him a full clear next turn and gives him another charge on that bow.
That is true. This does make the Unleash better next turn.
Yeah, because it also gives him an extra mana, so he can play Unleash. He can play his Boar, and he can play Arcane Shot, and that clears this board really easily. But that means he takes extra damage this turn as well.
Yeah, we'll see how it works out. I mean, he's still 27, so it could be worse. You know, it's not that bad right now. It's 8 damage, so it'd be down to 19 just from what's on board.
Now, was Hosty waiting for this to play his Harrison? Was he waiting because, you know, obviously traps can only occur on, you know, the turn that you're playing, so he sets off a trap and then draws 2 instead of drawing 1 earlier on.
Right.
That has to be what he was waiting for. I still
think so,
have to disagree with the play, though.
Well, I think his board position would certainly be better. You know, no argument there. But, you know, he'd probably have a little bit more health too. But, you know, we'll see what he decides to do. I think you're right, though. If he's going to use it, now is going to be the time where you attack, activate the trap, then get the 2 draw off of the killing the bow.
For sure.
Yeah.
And
Yep, here we go.
Alright, so here it goes off.
So he does still do to 8 damage this turn, which is not bad.
Yeah. The thing is, I mean, he's going to draw so many cards.
I know, that's the thing,
off of, like, Unleash.
Unleash is even better now. He's going to draw 5 cards next turn.
Just the fact that he can Unleash, and he's going to draw into at least 1 Hunter's Mark, which means everything still gets cleared. And he draws ridiculous amounts of cards. He's just, like, hitting out his entire deck. Watch this.
And now Hosty's like, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no, I actually just gave him
There's
a 4
Unleash. Bam, everything's gone.
Yep. The Buzzard, not going to play that.
No.
Oh, Arcane Golem, that'll be useful for finishing him off.
Yeah, look, there's so much he can do here. Like, you can use your Abusive to get rid of the 3/3. Look at that. Oh man, just craziness. Just craziness.
Yeah. Alright, so there's that. So he's going to be able to clear all the 1 health guys. And then the Hunter's Mark will help him clear Harrison. And so that is a full clear with, you know, 1 damage chip away at the armor as well. So, I mean, hey, that's what happens when you have a lot of creatures out against Hunter.
Yep. But you know what? Hosty drew a lot of cards and stuff. The thing is, he doesn't really have a lot of life gain. He's already used his shield block.
Yeah.
He doesn't have Alexstrasza. So now he's looking at this situation where there are 3 minions out that need to be dealt with. He can't quite do it.
No Whirlwind either at this point.
No.
Not anymore.
He's... God, it's actually really tough here. No play is looking very strong. Like, would I Azure here and hope to draw a Whirlwind? Like,
yeah, I think that's what you kind of have to do. You have to sort of cross your fingers, you know? And Azure is still a strong drop either way. I mean, it is still a 4/4 out there. It's something that they kind of need to deal with, but you might just die next turn. That's
if you play that and the Buzzard's still out,
yeah,
your opponent has any beasts in hand, it's regrettable.
You know, he actually does have a Brawl. I missed that because it's kind of cut off, but
leaving himself at 3 mana with no minions, like, I think what he's going to do is Kor'kron. Like, so? I could see him even going double Kor'kron.
Yeah, maybe.
But he has to Kor'kron into the 2/1 Buzzard. He could Kor'kron armor, but double Kor'kron might be better.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that they have to deal with, but...
You know what he...
What?
I'm like trying to think, can he double Kor'kron to face?
That would just be too risky.
Yeah, that's too risky. That's too risky. I'm crazy.
Yeah, you got to take out the 2/2/1s, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, this is just too dangerous.
Oh, he's gonna take out the 1/1. Okay. So giving himself a little bit higher health, and I mean it still trades either way. So it doesn't really, make a big difference because it would have been at 1 health anyway.
Kind of interesting.
Yep. Okay, so let's look at the damage here. So 18 to deal with. Can he kill him this turn? Let's see. Leroy is 6 plus another. Let's see.
Yeah, not quite. Like he can do 10 pretty easy.
I think so. Yeah. Well, he can do 12, 14. Looks like about 14 is the max he can do.
Okay, yeah.
Because he can
14.
Arcane, Golem, Arcane Shot, Leroy.
It's not quite.
Yeah.
Definitely going to put some damage on his opponent here. Wow. Wow.
I might consider... Let's see. 19 health, the misdirect is pretty appealing, but I might consider keeping the kill command here.
I would...
You think so?
Totally consider every card there.
He totally...
That's actually the one I would
he goes
be less likely to keep, to be honest.
Yeah, me too.
He knows that there is obviously no whirlwind in his opponent's hand.
Yeah.
This is really good. He's putting a lot of damage on that board. This is like, it's really good play. The thing is, he has so many options because of how many cards he had that there was a lot of ways for him to deal with that turn.
And again, against a control warrior, you're at 19 health, you have no danger at all of dying. Like, there is no way they will kill you.
8 plus, yeah, actually, even with Grommash Whirlwind, he wouldn't have killed him.
Yep.
Even if he left both of the 4 attack guys out, he still would have lived.
Yeah.
So.
Yep, you're really safe.
Pretty safe at 19 health right now, for sure.
Yep. So Tice should have the win locked up next turn if these guys live. We'll see. And even, actually, no, the Leper Gnome would do 2 damage if it died anyway, so it'd be 11.
I think
so. At 9 mana, that would be, let's see, 10 plus 2. Yeah, it'd be a kill next turn for Tice, even if both of his creatures die.
Looks about right, yeah.
Yep.
Like, you probably just play Azure and see what you draw?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean,
I think so, but it doesn't.
You could go Brawl and then Cruel to kill both.
You also have to armor up this turn. You must armor up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. So, I mean, he's going to remove some stuff, going up to 15, but...
He's still dead. I think he is, anyway.
Let's see.
Let's see. Well,
he doesn't have a beast, but, I mean, he can get one.
Yeah.
6 plus 5, 11, 12, 13...
Oh, he's got 15.
If he got Leok or if he got... Oh, wait, no, that's not enough mana. He's 1 mana short of that. Never mind.
Okay. Yeah, I guess he's barely not enough
right now. If he had 1 more mana, as long as he didn't roll Misha, he would win this turn for sure. But actually, 10, 12, 14. Yeah, no, he's 1 damage short of killing.
Yeah, that's right. I thought he was going to, kill Leper Gnome, but I guess he really can't because it kind of negates the armor draw anyway. Or armor gain. So what do you do? I mean, I feel like you vulture into Animal Companion maybe,
vulture,
and then you still have enough to do Kill Command after
4,
that.
5. I feel like, yeah, that's okay. And I like Animal Companion hero ability, and yeah, I like the hero ability this turn.
Yeah, I mean, once
a little bit of extra damage for sure.
If you vulture Animal Companion, you'll still have 4 mana to work with, which is quite a bit in Face Hunter.
Alright, Misha.
Oh, dude.
That's the one he actually
does now you might as well. Well, I mean, now it kind of allows you to play that Arcane Golem. Yeah.
I mean, he was at 9 mana. That's a great turn to play Arcane Golem.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So, actually, this was a great play to play Arcane. I don't know why I didn't see that. But anyways.
It's been a long series.
Indeed. This is an unlosable position for Tice.
Yep.
Completely unlosable.
There's Brawl, and that's the only... yeah, I mean, that's the thing. The burst is going to be too big between Leroy and the kill command after the buzzard next turn. Yeah, he's got
9 gonna be, no matter what in hand. And then he's got 2 more from hero power, then he's got 2 from the Leper Gnome minimum.
Yep.
So
even if Hosty clears the board, it's kind of over.
Yeah, and he will clear, it looks like.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're gonna clear the board. It's not a problem with Warrior, but you're just not gonna live.
Nope, you're certainly not.
Yep.
So he's gonna go down. Probably go to face with this one.
Well, Leper Gnome. Yeah, the Leper Gnome was a good keep. I mean, it was.
Yeah, the Leper Gnome did a lot of work.
That extra 2 damage at the very end here can be pretty scary, and that's exactly what we're seeing. So, hero power plus Leroy, and Leper Gnome will finish the job. Nice.
Nice.
Styling. So we are all tied up, man. Whoa. Tice keeps himself alive, man. We're going to game 7. Alright guys, we are back. Theis versus Hosty, and we're all tied up. We're going to Game 7. It's going to be awesome. And what will be even maybe more awesome is that Hosty's brought in the Freeze Mage, which has recently made a big resurgence.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I think we've got a Pyroblast cut off on the bottom there.
Yeah, it looks like he's missing one card beyond 9 mana in a Freeze Mage
and
deck.
You don't...
I think it's probably Pyro.
You don't usually run Freeze Mage without at least one Pyroblast anyway. So that's I'm assuming that's what it's going to be, but you know, we'll have to wait and see. Otherwise, it's pretty standard Freeze Mage. I mean, little tweaks here and there. Like, some people do include a Vaporize, some people don't, but
yeah.
Aside from that, it's a pretty normal list.
It looks really good.
Yeah.
You know, he's playing double Novice, I do want to point out, which we've seen a little bit of a resurgence of Novice recently.
Yep.
He's playing a Gnomish in there, which we've just seen that kind of popping up everywhere, and he does have
Gnomes
both Ice Barriers.
Gnomes are all over the place, man.
The problem here is that he's playing against Aggro Hunter with 2 Flares.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to imagine a world in which this Aggro Hunter deck doesn't win, because it's all charge minions against all freeze, and then 2 Flares against someone who has to have secrets to survive. So, what I expect to see here is Theis mulligan his entire hand looking for Flares. And then for Theis to win and be the 6-time King of the Hill champion, because this is...
I think it's pretty likely.
I'm trying to think of a more unfavorable matchup, and it's not coming to me.
I don't know, man. I think it's cool to see Freeze Mage coming back, but yeah, this is not the most ideal situation. But you never know. I mean, heart of the cards, right?
That's true. It is true. It can happen.
The draws could go.
It can happen.
It's true. But I'm sick of waiting. Let's find out who wins this week's I Heart You King of the Hill. Will it be Hosty? Will it be Theis? Let's get into the game and find out. It all comes down to this, guys. Game 7, Theis versus Hosty. Hosty with the Freeze Mage against Theis's Face Hunter. We'll see. We'll see who takes it. It's going to be, I mean, like we said, Hunter's favored, but then again, you never know.
Yeah, anything can happen in a game of Hearthstone, right?
True.
I would say perfect mulligans from both sides.
Yeah.
And let's just see how this goes. You know, the tracking going to be looking for flares, of course. As long as both flares aren't right here, you should be good.
There's one. Okay.
You take the flare 100%.
Oh, yes.
The thing is, he doesn't know it's Freeze Mage, I guess. It could be Aggro Mage.
It could be Aggro Mage, but lately, after these last couple weeks, I would assume it's Freeze Mage.
Seriously. Like, and he does too. He takes the flare.
Yeah.
And already Theis in a nice lead, I would say.
It's nice for Theis. That's right.
Like, he can start hero powering. Like, oh man.
Well, Leper Gnome is a fun play.
Yeah, I would definitely hero power here though. Like, do the 2 and then the next turn, like maybe Leper Gnome hero power. Thing is, it was actually Reynad said this really funnily when I was talking to him at DreamHack. He's like, well, you can just hero power every turn, then play a flare at the end, and you basically kill him. You know,
it's like that's true. Yeah.
You put so much damage on this poor mage.
That's
like the freeze spells are pretty weak in this matchup.
Unleash. All right. Well, he's just gonna keep collecting cards for now.
Yeah, and do expect to see just Hosty digging through his deck as quickly as possible versus probably a lot of hero power. I think he's considering a Wolf Rider here, especially going into turn 3. Turn 3 is a turn where you don't want to be using King.
True.
And actually doesn't play the Leper Gnome.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised about not playing the Leper Gnome there. I mean, because it's going to be 2 damage. It's not like you really need it.
Leper Gnome there?
I don't know, because you don't really need it for anything else. I mean, and you want them to use their hero power. Like you said, on turn 3, it's a big deal, because now Hosty gets to play Secret. So maybe a little bit of an error there for Theis.
I feel like it is. You know what? Maybe this turn he just goes like hero power double Leper Gnome?
Well, I guess, yeah, you do that now, because you didn't play it last turn.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't compute to me, because turn 3, they're always going to play like a Secret or an Arcane or maybe like an Acolyte.
I think just a little bit of an error there, but I mean...
Oh, maybe he was afraid of an Acolyte. But
maybe.
I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm gonna have to ask him.
I wouldn't really be afraid of an Acolyte, though.
Right? Yeah.
No.
Well,
I ain't afraid no Acolyte.
No. Okay, so wait. By the way, do you know which secret that was?
That was Vaporize. No, it's still in his hand. No, I have no idea then.
Okay, so it could have been Ice Barrier or Ice Block.
He's got Ice Block and Vaporize in his hand, so it's probably Ice Barrier then.
Yeah, I think you're probably right, and that's the one you want to play first anyways, get that armor going.
Of course, yeah.
2 Ice Barrier can help you out, like...
Well, yeah, it's 16 armor.
Yeah,
so.
It definitely can help you out a lot against the Hunter.
Yep.
But the thing is, Theis doesn't even have to really make it go, right? Like, would he play this right now?
I would actually try to find a way to attack through first.
Yeah,
because...
I think that you actually... I would save that for now.
Because, yeah, I would play Explosive Trap, because that would get rid of their board, and then, like, find a way to attack through, you know? Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I would have saved the flare for real.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, this does clear, but you know, couldn't he have found out what the trap was? This way?
Well, you don't want to trigger an ice barrier is the only thing. Ice barrier gains him a lot of life, so I understand getting rid of it because of that. But he wasn't going to attack him this turn anyways. So I don't like playing the flare quite yet.
That is true. I mean, because the thing is, flare gets rid of all the secrets, right?
Yeah.
So the longer the game goes on, the more chances you'll get maybe 2 secrets with it instead of 1.
Yeah, that's true. And you know, if you get ice barrier on the last turn of the game, that's like all that really matters, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because like almost every game against every deck, this mage deck goes down to 1 life and lives through an ice barrier.
Then you win through like, you know, double fireball or pyroblast or something like that. Yeah.
Well, let's see.
Or your frostbolt icelands combos.
All right, so right now, Hosty, I mean, he's getting a pretty reasonable hand here. One of the flares has been used, so he has to like be breathing a sigh of relief that one has been used so far.
Yep, and only recently have hunters really been putting 2 flares in all their decks, so he can assume there's another one out there. But
yeah, I would definitely assume that right now. Like, I think right, probably for the rest of the time we'll see 2 flares in every hunter deck.
Well, as long as this mage deck sticks around.
I can't see how much mana he has left. Wait, so this is turn 5, right? So he used 2, so he has 3.
Yeah, that's right. It just kind of looks like he's got 5 out of 5 because it's kind of cut off. But because he played the engineer, we know he's got 3 left.
He's got to be considering freezing and hero power. And there goes that hero power. Going to prevent a couple damage that would have happened to himself.
Yep. Just going to pass the turn there as well. Okay. Why not?
Yeah, probably just going to charge in here, hero power, you know, go to kill off that little novice with one of the dogs. Probably.
You don't even need to, man. I mean, it's their job to kill your dogs. You don't need to worry about their creatures.
Yeah, I guess that no matter what, he was going to lose a 3-1.
Yeah.
So.
Yep, I mean, the hero power would have done it if the gnome hadn't done it.
Yeah, makes sense. Anyways. Because that gnome should come down.
At 6 mana, you're always going to have enough mana as mage to hero power and do something else. There's not a lot of 6 mana plays in mage aside from like Blizzard, but you don't Blizzard that, so.
Yeah. Alright, so we have the ice block in hand, and we have the Alexstrasza in hand.
Huh.
Wow.
I mean, against charge, it's not the best, but still.
Well, yeah, he's just looking to put extra or to prevent an extra minion from coming out this turn.
He will end up killing off his gnomish inventor, though.
Thing is, this is wait.
Well, he's got 100 mark. He can just kill it.
Plus, yeah, he can, but I don't think he's going to.
I think he would rather just have.
Because he can do like 11, 12, 13 damage right now.
Oh yeah.
I guess.
Can he?
That's game, right?
It's just over.
Wait.
Let's
6
see.
plus 5 is 11. Plus 2.
Oh
is
yeah,
13.
it is over. Okay, that's
so
it.
the game is over.
Oh, GG. Okay. There.
Oh, that's.
Oh, okay. We still got the hero power. Oh man.
No, this is not.
Oh wait,
lethal.
Lethal.
He messed that up. He had
Whoops.
kill command.
You're right.
So that was actually a gigantic mistake.
That was a huge error, man. Because there's an ice block in Hosty's hand. Doomhammer kills everything.
Yeah.
Wow, Tice.
Tice has to be kicking himself, man. I think he looked at this and counted that as 3 because having 2 dogs out at that point is not something very common. So he probably wasn't thinking about those like they were beasts, just like an oversight in his mind.
The thing is at 30 health with hero power and with 2 explosive traps in hand, there's like no way that Tice is going to lose this. It's impossible.
There is Alexstrasza in Hosty's hand.
It's true, but we're still 2 turns away from Alexstrasza even being played.
Seriously, I mean, he'll trigger this turn no matter what.
Yep.
Right? And then there's a Hunter's Mark, so Alexstrasza is going to die no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah, Tice has nothing to worry about. It was a little bit messy. He could have won right there, but still.
Yeah, the problem is he's going to trigger, because the Pyroblast is in hand too, so he has to Alexstrasza himself.
Yeah.
Just has to do it. 2 secrets, though. And that's a Vaporize.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a Vaporize for sure.
Alright, here's hero power, off the ice block.
Yeah.
And then explosive trap. Yep.
I'm really surprised that Tice missed that lethal. It looks like it absolutely is not going to matter.
No, he's still got kill command and everything too.
So favored for hunters.
Oh yeah, I mean unless there's another ice block drawn right now, which is not, that should be about it. Yeah.
Well, he will Alexstrasza. Oh wait, no, he's only 8 mana this turn. Never mind.
Yep. See, that's what I was saying. Is that was still 2 turns until Alexstrasza. So without a second ice block, no way he's gonna live.
Let's see if he draws his other.
Oh, is he gonna get it? No, he doesn't. He gets a Blizzard. So that is that. And Tice, about to become a 6-time I Heart Through King of the Hill champion. Wow, that is insane.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Definitely a matchup that favored Tice quite strongly. Did miss lethal this game. You know, I guess after so many King of the Hill victories, he's gotten a little bit tired.
I suppose, yeah.
Just throwing his damage out
Yeah, a
there.
little bit of damage,
Okay,
why
I'm
not?
dead, but
Fun times. It's
Why
like there
not?
at least the game didn't end with him at 30. So
yeah.
hero power, and that is that. And yeah, Tice takes it, our 6th time I Heart the King of the Hill champion. GG. Alright guys, well Tice, our 6th time I Heart You King of the Hill champion. Pretty amazing stuff.
Yeah, it looks like Hosty's Bay caught him slipping.
What?
Yeah.
That was
amazing. Tice, just
Hurts.
unbelievably, ridiculously good. He chooses great decks, he plays them fantastically. We definitely saw some misplays in that last game.
I'm still recovering, sorry.
So is Hosty from that series. But you know, some good solid play from Hosty. Some interesting decks. Definitely that warrior deck a little bit different.
Yeah, and Tice, you know, I mean, I would say we had to stop, collaborate, and listen, because Tice was back with a brand new edition and of decks, and they ended up winning. Like I was trying to. Wow, that was like two of the worst jokes ever in the history of esports were in that outro. I think.
They were both yours.
But you're just giving me the first one then, or something?
No, I thought that was a good joke. Okay. Well, I mean, here it is. Who's going to take down Tice? This is my question, though. Like, who can actually take him down? We keep on putting him against top guys.
I know, he can even make mistakes and he still wins.
Yeah,
Can't stop this
we're
guy.
going to continue to put him against top guys, and, I mean...
Maybe we need to put him against some, like, bad players.
Oh, well, I mean... It's true. You know, you get some of these guys at like rank 15 that are playing cards you just don't expect. Sometimes they're just going to get a kill on you randomly. But the thing is, best of 7, man, the better player wins a lot of the time.
That is true. Well, that's why best of 7 is such a good format, because it really, really does show the skill of the players. And Tice, you know, absolutely deserves it. A 6-time champion. That's pretty insane. A great series of games too today.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Yeah. So, looks like that's just about it. I guess, you know, sorry that we weren't around last week. It was DreamHack and all that, but we'll be around again next week, won't we, Doa?
That's right. Yep. For more Hearthstone action, we'll see if Tice can make it 7. Until then, have fun playing Hearthstone, and we'll see you on the next cast.